Hello, welcome to my channel. We're looking for the disappearance of Jeffrey Allen Klungness, Bonney Lake, Washington, March of 1996. 5'10", 5'11", 155 pounds. He was only 14 years old. He slouches when he's walking, brown hair, blue eyes. He's got some aliases. The mother was found dead in the family's mobile home. She had been killed by the blow to the head. Investigators believe she was beaten with a blunt object while sitting in an armchair in the living room, and then she either crawled into the bedroom or she was dragged there. A trail of blood led from the chair to her bedroom. Jeffrey's father came home from work, found the door to the residence unlocked, the TV on. He tried to open his bedroom door and he couldn't. When he finally got it open, he found her slumped dead body there against the door. His gold watch and $700 disappeared from his home. His son was missing, and he's never been heard from again. His father said he last spoke to him at 9:30 that morning. He said that him and his wife had been married for 15 years when she died, and they had had a troubled marriage and separated before, and their arguments upset their son. Their son had problems with anger before his disappearance. He once damaged the bedroom door so badly it had to be replaced. He was attending a private school at the time. His father describes him as shy, but basically a normal teenager. And then there's the handyman who borrowed their car and often drove the son places, but he would borrow the car and he wouldn't ever put gas into the car, and they didn't want him at the house anymore or borrowing the car anymore. So he had the car at the time that she was dead. So the car was found abandoned at 4 a.m. the next morning. He turned himself into the police that day and admitted he had taken $300 from her bank account the day she was killed and spent it all at the casino. He was arrested and charged with possession of stolen property and got 45 days in jail, and he was released. He refused to take a lie detector test, and he will not speak to investigators about either of her murder or Jeffrey's disappearance. He got an attorney and lawyered up. He was seen with Jeffrey before he went missing. He says he took Jeffrey to get a haircut at 11:30. Now, and then he says, and then there's surveillance camera at a drive-through bank ATM showing him with her Toyota right after, between 11:30 and 12. He's at the bank taking the money out. That's maybe when he took the $300 out of her account, is between 11:30 and 12. And then next thing you know, she's dead and the boy's missing. So yeah, somewhere between, well, I don't know if it was a haircut. So shortly after a haircut could be 11:30 to 12:30. So he's at the bank taking money out. Poof, there's $300 gone. And by 2 o'clock she's dead. So you say 12:30, 1:30. That's an hour and a half later. So he says he took Jeffrey home and then he left again in the car to run an errand. But why would he not run the errand while Jeffrey was with him? Then he says that between that hour and a half that he was out running an errand with their car, he returned and Jeffrey's gone and the mom is dead. So, yeah, and he's, like it says, he wasn't welcome in the home. That's what it says. And he's never been charged with her murder or Jeffrey's disappearance. He was convicted of murder before, second-degree murder, in 1980. And when did they go missing? 1996. So he had been convicted of second-degree murder before her murder. So he killed his estranged wife, and he was released from prison in 1992, so that was 4 years before this woman was murdered and her son went disappeared. And then there's also the watch that's gone from their home that was also stolen. It's engraved with Ron's name and a message thanking him for 30 years of Boeing. They think whoever stole the watch killed the woman and took the son and maybe killed the son too. So, yeah. And that's the only suspect we have. The only suspect we have is him or the husband who was at work. So, and the son's never been heard from again. It's been 26 years. So it doesn't really look like the son did it. And here's this one John Doe that could be him, but I doubt it. It's 2 hours away, but they say it's late teens or early 20s, which would have been older than 14. And it's like a year later, and I don't know if he would still be alive a year later when they're found. So it said he had been in the water for at least 3 months, but I don't know, unless he had his head shaved off and his hair shaved off, I mean. He is 5'11". It says 155 pounds. That could, and the tooth could have gone missing when he died or if he was killed, but I don't know. He'd been in the water at least 3 months. It's probably somebody who was out on a boat or water jet skiing or something like that, or swimming and drowned, and they washed up on the beach, it says. So I'm thinking this is probably not him, and it's probably somebody else. So I didn't see anybody. I don't know if they've ever found his body, which is strange, isn't it? Went for a drive, and that's another thing. He's got if he's got him in the car with him, he could have taken him somewhere and killed him and gotten rid of his body after he got the money out of the ATM. So, and a lie detector test would help show where he was. Anyway, please feel free to leave comments and tell me what your thoughts are on the subject. If you know anything, even if you're thinking, oh, well, he got drunk and he told me this, and I feel like it's hearsay, and I don't know if it's important, don't take that information to your grave with you. Call the authorities. Let them know that information. Let them decide if it's important or if it's relevant. It might help solve the case. And if you know who this might be, contact authorities and let them know. Maybe somebody was missing that that in that area, and you're looking at the picture thinking, oh, maybe that's them. Let authorities know. And don't forget to stop and pray for the families of these people and the investigators and the people whose lives have been scarred by this. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day. Oh, and don't forget to leave comments. Bye-bye.